Hey there, Libra Sun, Libra Moon, Libra Rising. Welcome to your bonus reading. I'm recording this on the 23rd of Aquarius, on the 23rd of January. And so this is really pretty much for the whole season of Aquarius. It's really interesting what you had come forward already. Because as I was getting into going through my meditation and welcoming in the spirit guides and my spirit team here, Venus showed up. And Venus is your ruling planet. And then I looked down, I see you're first on the list today. So Venus is moving into, on the 26th, I believe it is, I don't have my calendar in front of me, the 26th, Thursday though, she is moving into Pisces, and Pisces is ruled by the energy of music and sound, because Archangel Sandalphon really works with this energy too. And you have this beautiful card that comes up about vibration. You have the card, it's a throat chakra card, but it's about the sound. And so it is about finding your own rhythm and finding your own voice and really getting in touch with what is true for you and the vibrations that come through for you. And so while the sun is in Aquarius, Venus spends most of that time, if not all of it, in Pisces. She only spends about 3 weeks there, but she gets in about a week in. And so I think moving forward, moving and working with the energy of your ruling planet, as she has a very busy year ahead of her. She's going to do a very long retrograde. She gets into Leo like June 6th, I think it is, and she's there until October 10th when she's in your sign. And so she's going to span the summer doing a long retrograde and clearing energy and self-empowering. So letting go of the low vibrational energies, she's saying, and bringing in the higher vibrational energies. But to do this, it is a cello. And a cello is definitely about being grounded. And so this is grounding your energy, your personal power in the earth. And so how do you do this? So it's by the action steps. It's action steps. We are on an earthbound plane, and so it is about manifesting and creating, but it's creating in rhythm with the cycles, in what resonates with you, what is of value to you, what is important to you, and what makes you feel empowered. And so this is about getting into the body. Right? And so a lot of times, yes, in the silence we get ideas and we hear the messages. And so I don't want to tell you, don't be in the silence. I think that's part of being in rhythm with yourself, is you need to do that. So you pull your energy in and you release your energy. So like with the flow of the moon cycles too, right? We pull our energy in at the new moon, and then it's the waxing of the moon until it becomes full. We release the energy. There's a few more days after that where we really can get a lot of things done, and then we start pulling our energy back in. And so finding your own rhythm throughout the day and throughout the month and throughout the year. Like figuring out what your cycles are and what works for you and how it allows you to flow. Pisces season is for you, your 5th house. Yes, your 6th house. So it's your 6th house of the body. Oh my God, because you have the healthy body card that came up. And you have conflict. Okay, so it's, I don't know what this is, stibonite and an agate. Okay, so I feel like there's this conflict with inside of you, you know, around time management, about how do I find the time to take care of myself? How do I find the time to create my own rhythm? How do I find the time to manage all of these things? And I feel like this is an inner conflict. Like you feel like you should be doing so much for so many, and yet you're forgetting to take care of yourself. And so as you bring and pull your energy in and allow yourself to really be in tune, oh, I love that they said that, in tune with the ebb and the flow of your body and creating space for yourself, that is one of the things that should be prioritized, especially when the sun is transiting for you. Especially if you are a Libra rising, it would be your 6th house. It is not necessarily your personal 6th house, but since they're bringing it up. Okay, so wow. Yes. Okay, so finding the balance here. So you have here, seek inspiration in twilight wanderings and cross the threshold and leap the hedge, go over the wall. So it's in the quiet and in the stillness that you get inspired, but in the break of day, in the dawn. So there is this ebb and this flow. What I love about it, this one is called the Witch Hare, and we just entered the lunar year of the water rabbit, and so it is a year where we take risks and we take chances, and we also want to be focused, completely focused on what it is we're going to do. So all our actions should be in alignment with our intentions, right? And so here it's about looking at your physical body, and are you taking care of yourself? Like, are you doing what you need to do? And so are you getting enough rest? Are you, eating in a way that benefits your body? Are you doing the things that you know really works for you? Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay, look. You have this creative energy of the turtle. Okay, so the turtle has the hard shell. It does ask you to create, but it creates in this watery environment of Pisces where Venus is hanging out. It is an Empress energy, and this is number 33, which is the Empress energy. So it's this very creative energy. It's a new cycle, a new opportunity to create. But because you are a sign that needs to keep things in balance, you also have the Mountain Lion. And the Mountain Lion knows what they want, and they will go for it. And so you have the benefit of being in this, being able to withdraw. It's very much about cycles for you guys. It's about being able to withdraw, pull your energy in, and just really use that to create with, and then actually get out there and take the action step. I want to see what the book says here about this mountain lion who looks very ferocious, right? This is a very aggressive kind of energy. The mountain lion can be a very difficult power totem for you to have because it places you in the position to be a target for the problems of others. You could be blamed for things going wrong, or for always taking charge when others cannot. You could become the perfect justification for the insecurity of others. But this card says don't hide, right? So find the rhythm. This could be what the conflict is about. All right, so you're an initiating sign. I understand initiating signs because both my sun and my rising and lots of my planetary placements are in initiating signs. And so we step up. When you're sitting there and nobody will speak up and nobody will take the lead, it's like almost as though the silence is too much to stand. It's like somebody needs to do something, and this little voice in your head says, well, I can do that. And then the next thing you know, you've said it, and now you're in charge. And people who don't want to lead also sometimes don't want to follow. They just want someone they want someone else. I can't tell you how often I have heard, I'll give you an example. Nobody would take control of setting up a class reunion. And so it kind of fell on me. And I felt like, okay, well, no one else is going to do it. I guess I know I can, so I should. And all the people there's a lot of darts that were thrown at me. That was one issue. But there were so many other people who said to me things like, well, that's the reason I don't volunteer for things. You tell me where and when to be, I'll show up. But I don't like to get involved in that because I can't stand all the politics of it. And so there's that too, right? There's this situation, I think, evolving over the next 4 weeks for you where you're going to feel like you need to be the leader, but you need to find your own rhythm. And you're going to need to know when to stand your ground. It feels very Seven of Wands. And when to retreat, when to create, when to spend time in the silence, and the conflict that comes up. It's going to be important for you to maintain your own sense of health. And so sometimes you have to cut your losses. I know I did. I stepped out. I said, you know what? I don't need this. Somebody else can do it. It's okay to walk away. Eventually, people stepped up. And then when I say eventually, it took them a long time. Okay, so the use of abuse of a power in a position of influence can be a great part of Okay, so it's time to stand on your convictions and lead yourself where your heart takes you. And that could be the conflict. It's like sometimes we put so much of ourselves into doing stuff to help others, to make their life better, or to help them along the way. If we neglect our own path, our own rhythm, our own personal and internal song, if we are giving away our energy to something that is really stressful, whether it's in a relationship, a job, a committee that you agreed to help out on, whatever it is, when everything gets to that point where you're not having fun in life anymore, when it is not working for you, you have to rebalance. And the thing about Libra is everybody says, "Oh, Libra's so balanced." That's not a thing. Libra is about the balancing. And so trying to bring things back into balance is kind of the work of a Libra. And there is an understanding that you can only give so much until you have to start to receive. And they're asking you this month to really look at where are you overextending yourself and feeling the need, like it feels like this adrenaline energy of having to stand up for yourself all the time. Saturn is still in Aquarius. That area trines your energy. And so as I'm recording this, I believe Venus, she just conjuncted at the new moon. She just conjuncted on Saturday. So 2 days ago, she's still in conjunction as I'm speaking with Saturn, creating the structure around boundaries, around what empowers you, what is good for you. And Saturn's going to hold that energy. Saturn's also moving into Pisces on March 6th. And so Saturn and Venus are trying to tell you, while they're still in, in trine, in flow with you, in this creative sector of energy for you, that it is okay for you to create the healthy boundaries. And in fact, you need to, because as they both move into this energy of Pisces, which is a little less solid, and air can freeze water. And they're asking you that if you go into this quiet space beneath the water, into your emotional waters, if you're willing to duck and go deep, you will find the balance. Sometimes you need to take the leap and go over the wall. Sometimes you need to stand your ground. But you can only, so it's like the action and the receptivity. So sometimes you're putting energy out and sometimes you have to receive energy. And so how can you find and manifest and create this balance for yourself? You are a leader. You were born a leader. Initiating signs are the leadership signs. And oftentimes because you're in that role of the leadership of the house of others, it becomes really hard. And a lot of times people come, you draw and attract people to you that want you to solve their problems, right? You can be a great problem solver. You see both sides. You need to do this for yourself right now, over the course of this next month. You are allowed to be vulnerable. So if you're going to assume the mantle of leadership in something, create healthy boundaries around yourself where you don't necessarily let the opinions of others dictate what you know to be right. Withdraw at times. Trust your own energy, your own insight. Don't living in conflict all the time. That is living in high levels of cortisol, because conflict initiates in your body the physical reaction of fight or flight. And when that happens, then the cortisol, extra cortisol in the body, it triggers the fat storing. And this is unhealthy, generally speaking, not always. But you will notice that when you're in stressful situations, it also triggers hormones that make you crave fatty foods. And so when we combine all this, we're providing more energy to be stored than we're actually using. And so good, healthy body movements. Instead of and so pulling your energy in, so you have to deal with conflict all day at work or whatever the situation is, you need to create a time for yourself where you can rebalance, either through meditation, through going for long walks, or getting in the pool and swimming, or reading a good book just for some downtime. But it needs to be something where you aren't creating the false sense of being comforted through food. For some reason, they're really bringing this in. So, focusing on good, healthy habits right now to help rebalance your energy. There's something around the flow of energy. Okay. They keep doing this. I want one postcard, and I keep getting 3. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look and see which one they want me to read completely and which ones I'm just going to kind of peruse for the messages. And so, okay, it's that one. All right, so let's take a look at these two. Okay, so you're initiating something. There's a new beginning happening. You're stepping into this new version of your life, and Spirit wants you to know they've got your back. You're being celebrated. Getting ready to tell a new story as you create it. So the turtle is oftentimes the energy of a creation story. A lot of different mythologies, and I use mythology in the broadest sense of the term. Okay, it's a mythos. It's a story, and so even like the Catholic religion is a mythology. Okay, so just take it very broad, right? And so there's this very broad mythology that in many different cultures, the turtle represents this creative energy, and you have the turtle, and you have this card here that says that you're going to need to stand your ground a little, right? And so it's normal to feel both push and pushback when entering any kind of a new relationship. And that could be a creative project or a new group, or it could be an actual relationship. But I feel like it doesn't feel like a personal relationship more. It feels very group oriented. What you know is it is time to dive in and allow that new version of life to take shape on behalf of your partner. Take behalf of your partner in life, spirit. You have made it to a new level of awakening, contributing, and we are excited to see where this will take you next. So you're finding a new rhythm. There's a new song, a new vibration coming in, and change makes a lot of people uncomfortable, not initiating signs, but a lot of other people. So you might be receiving a little pushback, and it's okay. For you to continue to play your song and follow your dreams. So uncertainty is the new normal for the whole world. Wow. Things are changing at a rapid pace, and the old ways we once trusted are no longer available. Right now, the advice we have for you is this. Try something new, do something different. You won't know how it will feel, what it feels like, or what the outcomes will be if you do not take the first step into the unknown and experience the unfamiliar. You'll be glad you did, because the treasures will appear. We are proud of you for being brave. You are entering the last 5 months or so before the South Node moves into your sign, Libra. And the South Node in your sign will be asking you to shed the old way of being that no longer serves you in order to have space to create something new in. And it looks like you're getting a little bit of a jump start here. And so as that that South Node starts inching its way, I think you're starting to feel the pressure to change, to try something different. So do it. All the planets are moving forward between now in the middle of June mostly. Pluto goes retrograde before that. But Pluto is going to be in Aquarius on and off for the next 2 years while the South Node is in your sign, and Pluto wants to help you to transform a situation. And so it's like the south node is coming in from the higher degrees. It starts at 30 and works its way back, and Pluto is coming in trine to your sign at the first degrees, and so you're kind of getting this flow of energy from both sides that's kind of like pushing you to make a big change. And so it's kind of like it feels like it's the shedding of a skin for sure. I see the snake wriggling its way out, but it's almost as though both ends are working at the same time to complete the process. And so it's going to be an interesting couple of years for you. It does, changes can be very difficult, but again, you're initiating sign. That does not make it fun. That does not make it easy, but it's certainly easier for you than it was for the fixed signs. I will tell you that much. And so your willingness to shift and change possibly groups or dynamics by you stepping into your leadership, by you putting a little bit more out there, by you not necessarily taking everybody's ideas into account and trying to make everybody happy, but instead having the ability to rise above and see the grander vision of what needs to happen, and you being a leader and creating what it is that you feel the rhythm and the vibration is encouraging you to do. Did you know that when you stop fighting and accept everything exactly as it is right now, miracles start to happen? There is freedom in this kind of radical acceptance. Let go of unrealistic expectations and see things as they really are, not how you would like them to be. You will be surprised how everything seems to fall into place. And so even though we want peace and harmony and everybody to get along, sometimes you got to look at the situation and go, okay, let me take a higher step back and see the whole picture. And we're here, and this is where we want to go. And I can't make everybody happy along the way. How do I do what's right to get us all there? When you refuse to accept things, life gets messy. You act messy and the world stays in chaos, tension, and disarray. But don't try to force a change or manipulate circumstances. Instead, learn about what is it in front of you and face it with your own eyes fully open. Then you can decide to stay or go, to sink or swim, to move away or stand still. Acceptance is the key to freedom and opens the door to real opportunities waiting to be discovered. Set yourself and others free. Wow. So it is about group stuff. Set yourself and others free. And so here is this thing where you're going to have the vision. You're going to see what needs to change. And change is uncomfortable, but necessary. And by change, it may be changing your approach or changing the way you do things, not necessarily trying to make everybody happy, but instead focusing on what is the actual goal here and how do we get there from here. It's kind of interesting. All right, so I think these next 4 weeks really kind of set you up for this, but it's part of a larger journey for you. So take the lessons you learn from Saturn and Venus while they're trining your sign, because as they move forward, Venus is going to end up spending a lot of time in fire. Air feeds fire, so there's a lot of big opportunity for you in that space. But Saturn moving into Pisces, that's a water sign. And so that's about creating structure, taking your ideas and kind of freezing them in place at times in order to manifest your dreams. You're going to have to let a lot of things go to get to where you want to go. But we all do. You're just being set up for it right now. You're being set up for success. All right, Libra, you guys take great care. If you did not see your weekly video, those come out on Sunday. And I will see you back here next week when we'll take a look at that full moon that is coming up in Leo. Speaking of Leo. All right, take care. I'll talk to you soon.